We got the top material and everything off the car. And then, of course, nothing is ever easy. We always hope it is. But, you know, everything looked good on the top when I took it apart. And then I got the old top rails, side rails off, and the old roof bows and everything. They're in kind of homemade and in pretty sorry shape. Of course, you know, you start taking the top off and you have to kind of get into the interior and get that all apart. So I've ended up really stripping out all the upholstery in the car. I got the top off, and I'm going to show you a picture of how the new top bow fits the car. We have a problem. This car is bent. What has happened is, and it's one man's theory, that these closed cars don't have enough bracing at the top of the doors to actually hold the weight of the doors. And over time, it tends to make the cowl sag a little bit backwards. And of course the back of the car, you know, kind of follows the cowl, so everything kind of shifts backwards and down a little bit. And what that caused, as you saw in the picture, was that whole top section is no longer flat. As you can see that actually from front to back, that little back section is actually almost 2 inches up from what it should be. The top should be completely flat. So this little top replacement naturally has turned into something much bigger. And it just may end up being a full restoration of this old car. And I really didn't want to do that, but in order to straighten this car out again, it's going to have to come apart. So I've already removed the doors, and now I've got to get the fenders off the car, and the running boards will come off, and then the body has to come off, and you know, we'll get her down to the frame, but I've got to address the problems with the body. It's the poor old car, and it's almost 95 years now, has been thoroughly abused, and it looked good, it looked fine with the old top on, but nothing is ever as good as it looks. So I'm going to take and show you a little bit about what I'm going to have to do to get this car apart. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so again, that top bow, or that top rail of wood, should be flat against the rear quarter of the car. And of course it's not. Now the doors have been taken off. They just pull 3 pins off each door, and the doors aren't very heavy. They come right off. And then of course the interior, I've had to pull all the old upholstery out. Naturally the headliner goes because the top holds a headliner. And so we're got some of the pieces of interior laying there on the floor. But some of my issues of getting this thing, poor old car, taken care of is, I don't know if you can actually see the rust there that goes clear through and kind of covers this whole lower quarter. The same is true in the cowl. You can see that the rust has taken over in the cowl. And then if we go to the back here, you can see how poor shape these poor fenders are in. And I don't know if the camera can pick it up. There's not a lot of light here, but this whole rear fender has been actually welded to the body, which is probably contributing a little bit to the fact that I cannot pull it all back into shape. This whole piece here is bent back, like somebody wrapped a rope or something around it and tried to pull something with it, and pulled it all out of shape. Some of the floor, for the most shape, mostly is good, but there was some replaced here in this galvanized metal. So I've got this piece needs to be changed. I need to replace that piece of floor. There's a rail that goes across the bottom here. That's got to be replaced. Right now this is bolted to part of the spare tire carrier or bracing, which has got to be replaced because it's completely rusted out. Some of these parts are available, some are not. For instance, the inside of the deck is not available, but the deck skin for this trunk deck is available. And all the glass is going to have to be replaced. So I've got to source out some. I want to put tempered glass in everything but the windshield. The windshield will use a laminate. But yeah, it's time. It's just time to do the thing and get it done. So there's what lays ahead of us. So I'm going to go ahead and get to planning on just exactly what I need to do and get started getting the old girl apart. So let's just get with that. Alright, well, I've removed the quarter glass. This one had been broken for years. This one I got out without breaking it, so I can use it as a pattern for our new glass. So now I'm going to go ahead and just remove this rear quarter, or this rear window glass. And I think it's mostly into wood, so I hope I can get all these screws out successfully. So far so good. Of course, the key to all of this is to not break glass. I need the patterns. And what I'd like to do is replace it all with tempered glass. But I don't know, it depends on the price. It'll either be tempered or laminate. The windshield will be laminate because just for safety's sake. The big problem with laminate is it over the years tends to separate a little bit and cloud up. But I'll just have to wait until I get a price and make sure that I can afford it. Some of this wood is kind of bad, but I do have a new wood kit for the body. Good thing is in a 26, 27, there really isn't a lot of wood. It's mostly in here just for upholstery's sake. Not like the older ones where everything on the body was tacked into the wood. There, that's all the screws. Ha. Now, before I get carried away, I'm going to put gloves on because I don't trust this plate glass. It can break pretty easy when you least expect it. Yeah, the old rubber comes off. I found this floor scraper with the razor blade, big long razor blade, works really well with just breaking all this old rubber out and not being hard on the glass. Yeah, and let's hope it just stays that way. And yeah, a little bit more holding things here. Last thing you want to do is force it. Sounds scary, I know. We got it. There you go. Say goodbye to the yard work. Now just get the rest of that old rubber out. Nothing to it. You just go on the other side and just knock it out with a screwdriver. Okay, so at this point the trunk lid is off. In order to get the trunk lid off, if you're working on the coupe, is to get the package tray out. And that was a fairly easy job. There's two little screws in the back that go into the little rain channels. I don't know if I can show it. Probably too dark. Anyway, there's rain channels right here on either side, and the package tray screws in to the inside edge of that. And of course, there was no real good way to get a wrench on there, and then they're just naturally the flat slotted screws, so I ended up having to grind them out. But that got those out, and then there's four nuts and bolts that hold the hinge for the trunk in. And then the trunk comes out, or trunk lid. And now I'm working on getting these fenders off. So I got two more bolts on the fender and each side, and then they'll come off. We're getting loose, but okay. So yeah, everything's out, and we're just going to continue on getting the pieces apart here. And once I get the fenders off, I'll show you all the rust in the quarters back here behind the fenders. So it's no wonder this car is sagging. Anyway, we'll get back to you in a minute. Well, alright, I rolled the car up to the hoist, and I've had to put some pipe underneath between the body and the frame, and I'm ready to lift it. I hope all goes well. If it doesn't, I guess we will be the first to know. So here we go. So far, so good. Of course, 6 inches up isn't okay. Okay. All right, well, let's keep going. What is all my squeaky noise? Want to make sure nothing is connected anywhere. Still looking good? Well, that was kind of scary. Huh. Okay. I'd have to say that's one Model T in the air. Okay, well, I think it's time to roll the chassis out. I love Model Ts. All right. All right, well, the body is off the frame, no doubt about it. So now we got to put it on some kind of cart so we can roll it around, and then we get it out and figure what we got to do with it. We got a lot of rust to fix. All right, well, so much for now. I'll get back to you in a minute. Okay, we have the body off the rack and on some wheel dollies. It's kind of tight in there. So there we have it. sure see the extent of the rust. As long as I keep myself out of the light. So yeah, we got rust there. We got to replace that part of that subframe in there too. So that's going to be interesting. And then we got lots of work to do on getting all this frame cleaned up. Lots of work to do. But we'll get the pressure washer out and get that all cleaned up. But that's for another video. So we have the body off. We're all ready to go to get to working on all the rest of these things that need attention. So appreciate all of you watching, and if you go ahead and hit that like button, it always helps. And I know that there's a lot of you that watch that haven't subscribed. Just go ahead and hit the subscribe there, and you'll be able to see all of my videos that come out. So again, until another day, we appreciate you watching. Well, just a beautiful sunshiny day here in California. Don't know if you can... Yeah, you can see it. It decided to snow. I don't know why, but there you have it.